Hello and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. On today's show, we are thrilled to welcome Deb Belfatto, a true force in women's health and wellness advocacy. For over 30 years, she has been empowering women, pushing for greater healthcare equity, and making a real difference in our communities. And what better time to have this conversation than Women's History Month? Deb is here to tell us all about the third annual Let's Talk Women's Health and Wellness event happening on March 29th at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center in Newark. Deb, welcome to Your New Jersey.
Lisa Marie, thank you. Thank you for always giving me the opportunity and the privilege to sit alongside of you and allow me to tell my whole truth and nothing but the truth. Because for me, it's the only way.
Exactly. And it's always an honor for me to be in your presence. And I mean, over the course of the last decade, we've accomplished so much together, bringing a spotlight to so many worthy causes. But I have to say, Let's Talk is my favorite.
Is it?
It is, because of what it represents. It's your path to purpose, and it's become ours as well as members of the advisory board. And it was born from such a scary time.
Yeah.
For yourself personally, and you recognizing that women had a need, and it was on you to deliver that.
I got the message. I got the memo. I got the message. I got the opportunity, and lucky for me, I have the capacity. And I believe that a lot of that capacity has come as a result of the fact that I have now survived 2 breast cancer diagnoses because I had access to quality care. I had access to resources. Both times in 1988 and in 2021, I looked around and I was like, well, what about everybody else? So that question of what about everybody else struck me many years ago. During the pandemic, it came time, I was scheduled for my mammogram, and after 35 years, I have never been late for my mammogram because my first surgery was a lumpectomy, which meant I had another breast that I had to pay close attention to. And I was treated for my first breast cancer at the University of Pennsylvania and reassured that perhaps I was going to survive and not die. And I also had a 2.5-year-old, my only daughter, Lindsay. So, my fear was palpable. And I'm like, I like my life, but just like that, your life can change on a dime. So I always try to incorporate the message of don't put things off, because we just don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Mm-hmm. And I got there, my mammogram was done. I went over to see Dr. Kevin Fox, who was my oncologist of 35 years, who really became a true friend. And I didn't walk out with my results that day. So fast forward to the next morning, and I'm listening to a voicemail from University of Pennsylvania, and I'm like, am I hearing what I think I'm hearing? I think I have breast cancer again. How could that be 35 years later? But what I did learn quickly is that every decade that you survive increases your chances by 6% of getting a brand new breast cancer. And that was a statistic that I was not familiar with.
Who knows that?
Who knew?
That doesn't get promoted.
Not at all. So I'm like, wow, that's some pretty strong messaging that more people should be familiar with. And I'm like, go figure. I get to do this again. And I knew Kevin was retiring, Dr. Fox. And I'm like, lucky me, I know too many docs in the space. And for me, I wanted a female surgeon this time. And like I said, I had a list of people I could choose from. So Dr. Deborah Axelrod, who was very involved in Komen for the Cure and became a very, very very deep friendship. I knew that she would be the right choice. Deborah saw me on a Sunday, and the first thing she said to me is, tomorrow morning, whether I'm your surgeon or not, you're going to Dr. Julia Smith, and she's updating your genetic testing. I am a huge advocate of genetic testing. In 2007, they tested 8 panels. In 2021, they tested 86 panels. So that's how far we've come. But nonetheless, 1 in 8 women are still being diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. But the good news is so many more are surviving.
Absolutely. So you had a double mastectomy in 2021.
Sure did.
And instead of just relaxing, which I'm sure your doctors and your family wanted you to do, you thought, I need to create a 1,000-woman event at the premier performing arts center in the state of New Jersey.
Why not? Why not? Challenges lead to opportunities. And this time, I knew so much more. I had relationships, and I'm like, yep, we can do this. Sure we can. I want to build a symposium, a movement. Anybody can walk into New Jersey Performing Arts Center and feel welcomed. So I knew that was the place. And I looked at Joe and I go, yep, and we're going to host it at NJPAC. And he's like, you know how much that's going to cost and how much money you're going to have to raise? Let me correct you. Do you know how much money we're going to have to raise together? Because we're a team and we're a partnership. And that's exactly what happened.
Deb, in 2021, you had this idea and you raised the money needed to put on this event in October of 2022.
Oh, really? It's true.
It
is true. It's truer than true. Yeah, we did. I mean, the outreach was amazing. And, you know, your reputation really matters, let's face it. You know, I work hard at maintaining my network. And, you know, when you say to somebody, let's get together, do it. Like, mean it. Just do it. And, you know, right now, today, there is such a movement in women's health.
Absolutely. The beauty of Let's Talk, though, it's inclusive for all women. So menopause doesn't resonate right now for girls in their 30s and 40s.
No.
But you have something for everyone at Let's Talk.
We do. And we have really broadened the ages this year in particular. We've introduced a student ticket. We've introduced a young professional ticket. We have our $250 ambassador ticket, which means you get a ticket and you give a ticket. And this is something I'm particularly proud of, is our sister program, because I recognized a long time ago there were too many women that didn't have the access to care that I did. And they were dying. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were late stage, they were misinformed, and it really struck me. Like, it makes me emotional to think of how many lives could have been saved if those women had had the access to care that I had. So I'm like, yep, we're going to introduce a sister program, and we're going to work with community agencies. We're going to do a big outreach, and we are going to very respectfully offer free tickets for women that otherwise wouldn't be able to budget for the event. It speaks to a number of our sponsors. I'll use BJ's as an example. They're up in Massachusetts, so they're not likely to come. They were so taken by the sister program, they just said, use our entire sponsorship to bring in as many sisters as possible.
It just speaks to the generosity and the buy-in of so many organizations here in New Jersey and nationally that are on board the Let's Talk train.
How about that? So raising money isn't easy, and I just want more corporations to realize the value of this day and what it can do internally for the women that work there, and what a gift it is for them to be able to say, we're supporting Let's Talk Women's Health and Wellness, and we want to send you for a day like none other.
Well, let's talk about the day.
Wow.
Because it is jam-packed with health and wellness goodness.
Oh, it's a doozy. It's a doozy of a day.
The biggest ever.
Yeah.
Year 3 is bigger, better, bolder, for sure.
Well, and I have to credit that to the remarkable advisory board that we formed this year, you being one of the amazing women that sits around that table. And to say that great minds and huge hearts sit around that table is an understatement.
And it's fun, too. We have
It's
a lot of fun.
fun, right? It's fun. And it's got to be fun. Because some of this stuff is heavy.
Absolutely.
And this year we've expanded the program. Years past, many of the breakout sessions were just a single person presenting, but we want to pack as much information into a breakout session. So many of them this year will be panel discussions with skilled moderators, and you're going to learn about, you name it. You're going to hear about loneliness. You're going to hear about sexual health. You're going to hear about cardiac health, menopause, cognitive health. We want to pack as much as we possibly can into that day. We don't want to overwhelm you, but it's not that way. You feel the minute you walk through the doors, it's such a joyful atmosphere. And there is such sisterhood in the space, and you turn around and you pretty quickly make a new friend. And we're going to open that day with the state of the state so that women can really gain insight into what New Jersey is really good at and what we're pretty good at and what we're working on to get better at. And we just all felt that an overview like that to kick off the day would really allow people to just say, this is going to be an amazing day. This is going to be a game changer for me.
We're all in Prudential Hall. We're kicking off this amazing event, and a very poignant, dramatic video always plays, produced by my wonderful team. They're the best of the best, you know, Ray, Mike DiPolito, Izzy Perez. I mean, they just do such a wonderful job in filming and editing these stories of real women living here in New Jersey about their health journeys and how they've overcome. And I actually want to show a snippet for our audience right now.
Oh, goody.
Yes, so let's take a look.
Oh, goody, because I haven't seen them.
I think the most important thing is to be able to value yourself and care for yourself. And I'm not talking about getting manicures, pedicures. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being able to understand that we are a force and we have to boost your light, because I truly believe that we all have this spark inside of us, and if we can generate it and understand that we have to be okay in order for everyone around us to be okay, that's the most important thing to do.
Going through infertility, basically on my own, I was constantly looking to connect with people who were going through infertility. I found myself in this space where I had a voice and I knew that I wanted to share stories and I wanted to create something that was missing when I was going through it. So in 2019, I created a podcast. Every single week, I tell somebody else's story about infertility or building their family through assisted reproductive technology. It's been a really great way to help people, to make people realize they're not alone.
I was in college and I got a devastating call that my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. I never imagined that years later I would feel a lump. I had 2-year-old twins at that time, and my life stopped. And I went on this journey of first fighting for my life and then fighting to help other women fight for their lives. You know, there is a gift of cancer, and it made me resilient. It made me fearless. I've seen and done things that I otherwise would not have done.
I'm not even sure I knew in my 30s and 40s what the happy ending looked like. I was diagnosed in my early 30s with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. It had a different name at that time, and there was not very much known about it. As a matter of fact, the cardiologist in Washington, D.C., the first thing he said to me was, "You will have a shortened life expectancy." Over the years, I've been fortunate to have developed a faith-based approach. And I also have found that working with patients who are recently diagnosed, particularly young women, who may feel that their whole life ahead of them is doomed, or will they ever feel normal again, is to really provide hope and inspiration for them that there is a good life with this condition.
Find your people. If you feel comfortable sharing your story, there's such power out there in sharing your story. It's so cool that everybody who is a part of this event has their own special passion, and a lot of people have turned their pain into their passion.
I hope to just let women know to take charge of their health, to be aware of their bodies, make sure you get your yearly mammograms, and then ask questions if you're uncertain about what's going on.
I'm excited to be part of an opportunity to just share with women that you can learn about the signs and symptoms for heart disease. You can find the right care that you need.
Think of our bodies as our temple, our brains, our heart, our soul. And when we fulfill all of those things, we are able to move forward in any path we really choose.
Every day I grow and grow. You know, I have my ebbs and flows. Sometimes I'm feeling really good and sometimes I don't feel good. I practice yoga, I meditate, I journal, and one of the biggest things is asking for help.
We love Let's Talk because it gives women, not only at NJPAC, but women of New Jersey and the surrounding area, an opportunity to talk about conversations that women usually don't share. But we provide a safe space for them to share things that are hard and how they've made it through and how they've survived.
Like I said, my favorite part of the day, seeing those stories on that big screen in that epic way.
Well, I have to thank you for that because you capture the booming voices with your team. And I could think of no more stunning way than to introduce the day. People are walking in, they're getting seated in Prue Hall, the lights dim, and all of a sudden on the big screen appears these magnificent women who have generously shared their truth. And that's not easy.
This is why you created the event, because these conversations are very hard to have. Yeah. You are very candid. You will tell every detail of your breast cancer journey. Yep. And there's women that suffer miscarriages, for example. Mm-hmm. They live in silence and in fear because there's such shame, mental health issues. There's still such a stigma. Yep. And that's why with the event, it was very important for you to focus on the 5 pillars of health. You're treating the whole person here at this event.
It's, you know, it's from the crown to the soul. And we just feel that it's the only way. Get ahead of it before it gets ahead of you. And healthy mind generally trickles down to a healthy body. Mental wellness is a top priority at this event. There's something for every woman that walks through that door.
Yeah.
It's really something.
Let's Talk is to be experienced. You really can't get a sense of it. You gotta come. But we want to show last event that happened in October of 2023. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from that year, and people will get a sense of what to expect this year.
Close your eyes. And I want you to just tune into your body right now. And then we're going to use the breath to help the body process whatever it is that's coming up for you.
We are with hundreds of women to talk about women's wellness and how we can empower ourselves to be stronger, be better, and to teach people how to treat us.
Bringing so many people together with a focus on wellness is such an important and special thing.
It's just so great to see so many communities from so many different backgrounds, identities, men, women here to support, this holistic issue around healthcare. It's not a single issue topic. We're talking about breast cancer, we're talking about reproductive health, we're talking about diabetes, we're talking about the full scope of healthcare, mental health. I mean, the list goes on and on, but I'm just so happy to be in this space where this topic is a priority.
We are here representing Kendra Scott. We are participating with a fundraiser for Let's Talk.
Remove Over Breast Cancer, bringing essential non-clinical services directly to the doorsteps of individuals throughout New Jersey.
We're here promoting our breast imaging center at the Cancer Center, scheduling women to receive their mammograms. We provide health supportive peace of mind food with quality ingredients.
The more education we can do, the more people we can get around the table, the better off we'll all be. We can't rely on information trickling down just from one source. We have to try to tackle it at all levels.
I think that sharing our stories, our vulnerabilities, things that we go through in our life as women just makes us all have a little bit more understanding for one another, be able to walk through life together and know that there's a shoulder to lean on. And that's the reason I came to the event and wanted to be a part of it. But leaving today, I'm really walking away with so much more knowledge, new friendships, understanding. It's just been really powerful.
I think events like this are so important for this community because health has been, or the lack thereof, has kind of been the whispered conversations. It's been the kitchen table talk. And the more we talk with one another, the more we find out what we have in common, the more we understand why there are health disparities, where the medical community needs to show up and show up more on an individual basis. We are more than numbers. We are more than stats. We are more than healthcare plans. We are individuals.
I'm not sure that everyone feels empowered to speak on their own behalf. We've always been told that the doctor is always right, and some people shy away. But if in fact we don't feel empowered to advocate for ourselves, we often may not get the treatment that we deserve.
I mean, this is really an opportunity to just remind us, I mean, in the busyness of everyday life and all our responsibilities, all of the challenges that are out there, that if we really don't have our health at our core, we're really not able to be impactful, be supportive, and especially women, in particular, we are at the core of the caregivers, and you can't be there for someone else if you don't have it, in order for yourself.
Oh, I wanna feel something. I just wanna breathe.
These kind of events make a change. And I think people declaring that they themselves or their families are dealing with these kinds of issues, it provides people with an opportunity to say, I'm not alone. And that's so critical.
It's not often that we get the opportunity to talk to the public, right, to talk to the community, which is really, I think, what drew me to this event, the fact that we could interface with the community and talk about such important issues around access, around stigma, around what to look out for in terms of mental health and also physical health. I think it's just critical, and it's a really important venue.
The women that gathered were so worthy of a day like today.
This is a day of power and purpose. And what the big takeaway is that we need more of them. We need more of them. Our voices need to be heard. Our stories need to be shared.
We crossed every T, we dotted every I, and people walked away feeling better about themselves. I know, without a doubt, we made the world a better place today.
The event was phenomenal. And by the way, that video was nominated for an Emmy Award.
And I was there.
Yes.
And it should have gotten the Emmy.
I know.
That was just...
Next year.
Next year, we're going back.
We're going back
because
next year.
we never give up.
We never
give up.
But I'm so happy it was recognized even with the nomination, because voters saw for themselves what an incredible event and movement that it is that you created. And I just thank you so much for including me in this mission and for coming here today. And I cannot wait for March 29th.
Me either, and I thank you even more, and I thank the advisory board and our +1 Joe B, because it's going to be bigger, better, and bolder.
Deb, thank you so much for coming on here and educating our viewing public on the wonderful world of Let's Talk. Where can people buy tickets for March 29th?
Well, it's pretty simple because we want come one, come all. So go on to our magnificent website and find the buy tickets, and easy peasy, really. Bring your friends, bring your family, just really make it a me day to celebrate women, sisterhood.
And it will be one for the ages. Thank you so much again for being here today and just for everything.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you for watching Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.